Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of Travel with Rick. I'm your host Rick Howard and I want to welcome you to our weekly video blog dedicated to the most magical places on earth. And wow, we're really here at a great place. Leslie and I are in the middle of an adventure by Disney right now, Quest for the West, and we're in Wyoming. And this is our last stop, the Brooks Lake Lodge. I'm here with Adam, the general manager. Hi. Hey Adam, how's it going?
It's good. It's good.
We are just loving your resort here.
Well, great.
The hotel is just beautiful, and we loved it so much. We thought it was just, it has been the highlight of our trip, coming here and getting to experience this. So we wanted to do an episode just on your resort.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah.
We really appreciate your time to take time and tell all of our friends about it.
Yeah.
So this is a great resort. This is middle of June now, and you guys can see all the snow behind us and the beautiful Pinnacle Mountains behind us with all the snow. When's the snow going to leave?
Well, hopefully July 4th, but typically we don't have snow at this time. Maybe a little bit, up on top or in the trees or such, but typically at this time in June we've been melted out, been able to do horse rides here along with guided hikes and fly fishing, but this year we have to change it up and go somewhere else.
Yeah, we heard maybe there's going to be some canoeing on the lake, and we got here and the lake is frozen.
It's frozen. Yeah, and most likely that will go away around the 4th of July or so.
Right. So this is a summer resort and a winter resort, right? So in summertime you have horseback
riding. There's canoes for the lake for the guests to use. Then we do guided hikes. We teach people how to fly fish. We have a 2-acre trout pond to teach people how to do that. And as well as experienced fly fishermen, we can take them to other local streams or backcountry lakes where we get to ride in. You get to use a float tube. You can wade around as well. And then those are basically the summer activities. And then a lot of people come just to use a half a day to relax and finally unwind. But in the winter we do snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing. There's dog sledding available. We don't do it here at the lodge, but we can access it, and we can also get you on guided trips into Yellowstone on snowmobiles and snow coaches as well.
Right. And you were telling us you've been here for 8 years,
8 years,
right?
And
right
I've
out
never
of college.
seen this much snow.
Yeah, right out of college you came here and
yeah.
started running this resort, and I think it was interesting because the coach that we took up here from Yellowstone, they couldn't even come up the road. So your fantastic staff met us down at the end of the road, a few miles down that way, and brought us all up through the snow, which in some places the snow that was moved was 6 or 8 feet tall.
Easily.
The snowbanks looked,
easily.
right?
Right now you can't see any of our fences, and our property's lined with fences, and it's about chest high on me, so about 4.5 feet, and we at least have 4.5, if not 5 feet of snow in most places. Yeah,
and Skinner was telling us on the way up here, I think it's like the most snow you guys have had in 40 or 50 years.
Roughly, yeah. Most old timers, I would say, from they say 1953. Was the oldest. It was the last time they could remember this much snow. At one point, we could almost drive a snowmobile right over the roof.
Yeah. So you guys have been following us. We started our trip in Jackson. We flew into Jackson, spent some time in Jackson Hole, did some whitewater rafting there that we told you about. Then we moved on up into Yellowstone, and then from Yellowstone, the Snow Lodge, we moved up here. Now this is about 9,200 feet in elevation.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Jackson 6,500. We're at 9,200.
I noticed
you're in God's country.
Yeah, I noticed on the hike today it was I was getting a little winded climbing up those hills.
Yeah, it would have been easier on a horse.
But it was just a lot of fun. We did go horseback riding this morning. That was it was my first time on a horse. Really, one of my only times on a horse. I rode a horse when I was like a little kid. So my first time might as well just say it was my first time. And people that watched me get on my horse today, they would have agreed that it was my first time. But
and the horseback riding is geared for people like yourself who haven't ridden ever or have rode moderately, I guess. We do some advanced stuff throughout the season, mainly to get to higher elevations, but other than that, it's for a lot of beginners. We don't do loping and cantering and all that for the most part, but we do have an arena when you can finally access it to do that kind of stuff and learn how to actually ride a horse. I mean, today with your group, it's kind of, we were just getting you in and on,
Yeah.
you know, and out because, you know, we were trying to beat the weather.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, our daughter Sarah, she's grown up riding horses, and she absolutely loved that. But you know, there were people like me who had never been on a horse, and you've got a great Wrangler crew here,
Yeah.
Skinner. I mean, these guys are authentic Wyoming folks. I mean, Skinner, he was telling us he grew up in high school riding rodeo in high school, and this was like, so this is not just people that work in the hotel that you send out and say, hey, go take some people horseback riding. These are real cowboys, right?
Yeah, most, you know, 2 of them for sure. They've been at other ranches, and then Skinner has been off and on with us for years, and born and raised on a cattle ranch, and you know, he knows his way around. He knows most of this area like the back of his hand.
Yeah, so it was just kind of, I felt like, I felt a bit like Billy Crystal in City Slickers today, you know, and Skinner was curly with his gun out there. I was expecting to get shot anytime, you know? but your staff is just so friendly, and the food.
Food is
gosh,
fantastic.
the food here has just been great.
Yeah.
Again, the highlight of our trip, you know.
Good.
You know, we had just a wonderful breakfast this morning, and then last night we had some sliced beef fillet that was just fantastic.
Yeah, and then there was stuffed trout that we did as well, and then we do a kids option as well, especially for the Disneys. But you know, that's normal fare for us.
Right.
So
so you have packages both for winter and summer that include accommodations and the food, and then I guess the recreation you can choose up there.
Yeah.
You have recreation packages if you want to do the snowmobiling.
In the winter, it's a recreation package of, you can get a package which includes a massage per person and a day of snowmobiling or 2 days of snowmobiling. If it's more than that, we can customize that package for your group or family, whatever you would prefer, so that's not really an issue. And then the summer is an all-inclusive package. You pay us a flat rate to get all your meals, all your activities, and your lodging. And the activities in the summer, again, are horseback riding, fly fishing, hiking, and the canoes down by the lake.
And just relaxing in this beautiful hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, looking around. When was this built?
The lodge was built in 1922. It was built in 90 days by some of the same crew that built Old Faithful Inn.
Okay. Yeah, you can see some of the similarities.
Yeah.
A lot of wood.
There's a lot more detail into, I would say, into Old Faithful with the way they did the archways and stuff. But overall, everything else is, you can tell.
And so there's a main building here that has rooms in it, and then we have my family of 4. We have a cabin kind of up on the hill overlooking, and in our cabin there's 2 bedrooms. There's a master bedroom, and then another bedroom that has 2 beds in that. There's actually a wood-burning stove there.
Yeah.
I got up and made fire for my family this morning. You know? I felt good.
You earned it. Right?
I did. You know, I lit the little pack and watched it burn. You know? I mean, I say I made fire. They already had the wood in the stove, and they have these cool little packets that you just lay there, and the fire just starts. But it's just so nice to sit on the porch, look at the snow, have a stove in there, wood-burning stove. Just
in the winter, I mean, that's what most people come for. I understand it's summer and it's not quite what people expected, but you know, we make what we can do the best with what the conditions we have.
Well, again, you know, your staff has just been wonderful here. Everybody's just so friendly and warm to us. The food has been great. The activities that we've done. I mean, horseback riding, went for a hike this afternoon. You know, we had a great dinner last night. So it's been fantastic. Yeah, it's been fantastic while we're here. Yeah, we already saw the menu. We've got some stuffed Cornish hens and some pork roast, I think, coming. Yeah, I noticed the food. I really do. You know, you can tell.
I think we all do.
I noticed what's going on with the food. So, and you put out a tea. In a mountain lodge, you put out an afternoon tea, right?
Afternoon tea every day at 4:15.
Yeah, and that's all inclusive again, right? So, all right. So, people interested in coming here, Jackson is the closest airport.
Yeah, the easiest to get and come, you know, to fly into and drive to us, or we can pick you up. A little bit cheaper option would be Salt Lake. Okay. But then it's a 6-hour drive. And we don't pick up from Salt Lake. Yeah,
it'd be kind of tough to send Skinner over there.
It kind of is, yeah. You lose a guy for 12 hours. So.
Yeah, so, all right, so how can they find out more about you?
Well, we have a website. It's brookslake.com, and then you can look us up on there. We I'm working on a new one from the one we already have now. And then we also have 2 live webcams, one which is down unfortunately right now, but the other one is working.
Yeah, and the live webcams, you folks can log on right now and watch the snow melting.
Yeah.
And you know, around July 4th, when the lake
it will
freezes,
hopefully be green. And,
yeah, you can see some grass out here, and there really is, past this snowbank, there really is a lake over there, right?
Yep.
And there's canoeing, so you can. I'm actually going to look forward to seeing that in mid-July.
Yeah, it's a 200-acre lake, and you know, there's a lot of good activities that happen on it. Plus, there's just so much you can do here, you know, throughout the summer and the winter.
Okay. Yeah, I know Leslie is actually thinking about a winter trip for us here. We're looking forward to coming back and doing some snowmobiling. That's something that she wants to do. I'm not so sure if I want to do it. I'm sure she'll talk me into it.
You say that now, you might be addicted later.
Yeah, okay. I'll give it a shot. You know, if there's a glass of wine at the end, sitting by the fire, I think I'll be okay.
We can definitely do that.
All right. So, awesome. Wow, well, we just had a special guest walk out.
Pretty special,
yeah. Here's the head wrangler himself, Skinner. Come on in here, Skinner. Say hey to everybody.
I'll squeak in here. Hello.
I think that's a real gun too, Skinner's carrying. You know, he was ready to shoot bear this morning if they showed up. One of the wranglers had a can of spray, and Skinner said he would just throw lead instead. I think.
Yep. Lead's a little better.
Exactly.
So you know, this is one of the authentic Wyoming cowboys that are here to take guests out on trail rides and make sure everybody's having a good time at Brooks Lake Lodge, right?
Yeah. I'd like to have people go out there, you know, have a good, safe time, and you know, bring back memories and have fun.
Yeah, I know we had an awesome time this morning. Saw some bear tracks, or saw a bear track.
Saw a couple bear tracks, black bear. We saw some elk, some deer. Almost covered all but the bear and some moose. You know, covered them all.
Yeah, you picked right up on that. You were looking down and saw that, and I'm like, how in the world does he see that down there and amongst all these horse
practice?
Yeah, but you saw that, so. Well, that's awesome. Well, Adam, you get to ask everybody a question of the week to leave a comment on our blog. So how it works is you ask them a question and they comment down there below. So.
All right. For those of you who have or have not been to Jackson, who founded Jackson Valley?
Wow, that's a great question.
We're not located in Jackson, but it's a very popular destination.
Right, and that's the drive up, right?
Yeah.
That's where
you're driving right up next to the Tetons and
up through Yellowstone, right?
You come just below Yellowstone. You go through mostly Teton National Park.
Okay. All right. So Adam, thanks very much for being here. We really appreciate it. Skinner, thanks very much for coming out, and thanks for the trail ride this morning. We had a blast with you, and thanks everybody for watching. We look forward to seeing you right back here on another episode of Travel with Rick real soon. So long.